right in with the easy. I can edit out anything.
Literally never eased into anything in my life.
That is kind of your MO.
I
mean,
know.
it's a blessing and a curse.
I know.
It's like my favorite and most hated aspects of your life are
I know.
that you can't just, it's like pedal all the way down.
Yeah.
Hey Liz, hold this knife, and for some reason all of a sudden it's like deep within whatever the thing. I'm like, no. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
I kind of did that today on my run.
Oh, you went hard.
Because I changed up my run.
Well, the whole reason we're running outside is because our gym every year closes down for a week. Mm-hmm. So then we feel
the annual shutdown.
The annual shutdown. So we feel like orphans.
Oh yeah.
That we have to now like find our own path
Little
in the world.
gym orphans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I really like the structure. I like a treadmill. I like knowing exactly what I'm doing, regulating it. But as soon as you get me outdoors, I don't know anything.
Yeah. Or I feel free as a bird.
And you just keep going.
And I just keep going.
Yeah.
I will say though, like my thighs hurt so badly.
Would you say you're, when I asked you about your run this morning, you were like meandering and you were listening?
Well, so we ran outside on Monday for the first time running outside.
Yeah.
And it's such a harder surface. You don't realize how much easier on the body running on a treadmill is. So by noon on Monday, I could tell that
you're burning.
It's not even burning; they're just sore.
Yeah.
Like the muscles are just really sore. So then today, I wasn't quite sure. I knew I was going to route myself over to Parlor Suites just to get some of my morning work done over there. So I had a little more time for some other stuff this morning. So I ran over there, but that's a quick run. And I did my stuff, and then I was like, well, how do I want to go back? I don't want to just go straight back. I feel like that won't be long enough. So then I started to meander, and I think I told you were like, well, where are you going to go? And I said, I'm going to let like my thighs lead or something.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to lead with my thighs, not with my brain.
Yes,
and
yes, exactly.
That's pretty much what happened. So I just kept getting to points where I was like, do I head home or do I keep going? And back to what we were just talking about, when in doubt, just fucking keep going.
Just keep going. No, I love it. I love it though. Most of the time it's an asset.
But I will say, I just tried to go to the bathroom and two, bend down to wipe something off of the ground, not in the bathroom, in the kitchen. And I can barely bend my legs right now. But I did ride today.
Right.
And riding felt great.
That's good.
Felt amazing.
Different muscle groups, a lot of the time.
Very different muscle groups. Very, very, very different. Which is good. I was a little worried. I was like, is it going to feel, I was worried about the posting trot especially, but I didn't even feel it. I think because it's no impact.
Right.
Because it's the perfect sport.
Right. Well, it's only that and jumping on trampolines that align your lymph nodes.
Supposedly. Yeah. I never verified that.
The bouncing. I feel like there's a lot of sports that bounce, but I don't know.
But it's the no impact.
Right.
So it's like your body's not getting a shock to the system when it lands because it's not really landing. It's this like up and down motion without anything sort of stopping it. Now, when you get off a horse, you just fucking fly off and land hard on the ground. But
you were also talking about rollerblading as being low impact.
Yeah. I mean, biking.
Yeah.
It's like anything that you're not slamming.
On a bike, though, my knees burn.
Which is such a funny concept to me, which makes me think
I've never
that
looked up like what it is.
Just your muscle group isn't very strong.
Like around
or
my
like,
knees specifically?
Yeah.
Because I run every other day.
Exactly, yeah. But
do,
that motion, or maybe it's a tendon thing, or I don't know.
I do so many squats.
Yeah.
I'm a squat machine, you know.
So, I don't know. Maybe you don't have. Maybe it's a cartilage thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't.
That's
have
what
a ton
it feels.
of
It feels
cartilage.
way more in my kneecap. So the sensation I get from riding a bike for an extended period of time, it's like hot under the kneecap.
Yeah.
Like it's not where muscles are at. It's like right there.
Yeah.
So maybe all my squats have deteriorated.
Do your knees bother you?
Never. No, not at all. No.
I feel like my knees bother me now that I'm running more. I'm like, I can't fucking win. I don't know.
Well, it's age, life.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, everybody talks about it, but it is like the older I get, the more conversations I have about, well, this thing hurts.
So today I was at the barn and I was talking to Laura, and she's probably the oldest rider at the barn right now, and I've talked about her
70s.
Yeah, she's in her 70s, and she's so funny. She and I well, it was really nice at the barn today because everybody's been off on their own adventures. There's people who have
Vacations
been
in different cities.
vacations,
Shows.
horse shows up in Michigan. We were on tour, and today was at least my first day back where everybody was back, and so it was just very happy. Everyone was catching up, and Laura and I were talking while we were cleaning tack, and she's constantly battling. Is she still confident? Does she know what she's doing? Does she want to keep doing it? She loves it so much, but she actually fell off a couple weeks ago.
Wow, scary.
And I think she was like, "Oh shit, what am I doing?" But she also like gets very in her head about a lot of it, and I constantly just try to keep her confident because I'm like, "You are still capable. You are very physical. Like she still swims all the time, does yoga. Obviously, she rides 5 days a week. Like she is a very capable, just person." She runs her own business, like does all these things where I'm like, Laura, I'm sure you do realize, but I'm here to tell you again, like you are doing a lot and you're doing it all well. You're not, she always acts like she's at the end of her life.
Right.
I'm like, Laura, shut the fuck up. You're not. But today she was kind of having a moment like that. And I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something along the lines of like, well, I'm not sure if I can keep doing this or something even more specific. But I just looked at it, I was like, yeah, well, with that attitude, you won't be able to.
Yeah.
And we were like starting to get a little sassier. And she just looked at me and she goes, okay, well, fuck you.
Yeah, good.
And then we were both dying laughing. And for some reason, we just kept saying like, well, fuck this, well, fuck that. And we're in the tack room just like laughing and saying fuck over and over again. And Lucy walks in and is just like,
What's going
on in here? And we're just like crying, laughing, yelling fuck. And it was just a really fun moment.
That's super cute.
And I think she was like, you're fucking right.
Oh, of course,
and I was
of course.
Like, I know I'm right. Because I was to tell myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm, what, a third of her age?
Right.
Like, it's not quite a third.
No.
But still, I'm just like, Laura, it's like you just have to keep telling yourself that you can.
Well, and a thing that we've talked about a ton is you need to stay active and keep doing things if you want quality of life.
Yeah.
And it's always like her doing this is keeping her physically capable and mentally sharp. You know, like luckily riding is something you can do way later in life as well. You can do it for a long time. But anything that takes like where you're going to a place and you have a physical activity and a purpose and community and communication and you're talking to people, all of these things that you do as well as riding the horse, when you're in your 70s, it makes such a big difference for cognitive ability and connection.
Absolutely. Yeah. So.
If she were to not do it, she would feel way worse.
Absolutely, of course. And it's like, and I completely get what she's saying. Yeah, when you fall off a horse.
Well, in order to get the healing is way more difficult.
Totally, and then you do need to question, like, am I still being safe? Am I still doing the right thing? But she's not jumping anymore. She's not, like, she's doing it all correctly. But I think she thinks that, she always acts like she thinks that we think that she's not doing it to her ability. And I'm just like, that's not the case. It's like, you're still getting out here and doing it more often than I am.
Right.
And yeah, that was a tangent, but I just thought I just liked yelling fuck you at each other and laughing really hard.
At a 70-year-old lady and you're just yelling fuck you. No, it's very funny.
And she's yelling it back at me.
Yeah, it's very cute. Her business is a wine store. So
she's just a total badass.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be Laura when they grow up.
Oh, for sure.
It's
and
really fun.
When we went to her store, people love her.
Love her.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like the sense of community over there. Like it is like it's an iconic thing. People seek that out and go to her store. It's very cute.
Yeah. So it makes me wanna get into wine.
For sure. We've said that multiple times.
At some point. It's just not now. I can't afford
to educate us
wine.
on it. Yeah, we can do more tastings.
I can't afford the wine hangover right now.
Well, for sure.
I gotta stay sharp.
It's definitely something. Just another thing where, I love knowing about different places, moments in history. The more I learn, the more then you can communicate and connect with people.
Yeah.
And wine is something that a lot of people are into.
Yeah.
We've been making it for thousands of years.
Yeah.
So there's like all these reasons that it's historically significant. It has its own language. And it's like we watched the video of the guy. He's a white American dude, and he was fluent in Chinese.
Oh yeah.
And it melted the brain
Yeah,
of the Chinese people.
Yeah,
They were like, wait.
There's no way. There's
no
way.
fucking way you know Chinese. And I feel like being able to speak wine, understand wine, if we were in France or Italy or somewhere, and we understood it, all of a sudden it would open up doors. People would want you to hang. They'd be like, "Oh my God, please hang out!" Like this.
Well, it's cool because I think because of the history, because it's grown across the world in various ways, it is something that unites us. It's something that brings us all together. It's something.
There's a universal language to it.
Exactly. It's an actual shared thing that's been shared in this way between humans for longer than any of us can really imagine.
Absolutely.
So it's just there's more layers to it than just the consumption, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
I remember we've talked about the podcast Acquired, but California wines were purely propped up by Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Like the whole California wine industry exists because of Trader Joe's, which is so fascinating.
And really American wine culture.
Yeah.
The way Americans consume it, the way they purchase it, the way they approach it. Fucking Trader
Joe's, which is so funny. Well,
it'd be interesting to because obviously we would most likely learn it here in America, but then to go abroad, whether to South America or to Europe or to somewhere else, and experience it there. And are there similarities? Did we cultivate a lot of the same things over here? Did we take inspiration? I'm sure we did.
Obviously, yeah.
But how differently do they treat the wine? Which you talk about in Spain, they're giving wine to 8-year-olds.
Right.
That's just what you have with
Right.
dinner
So you're
and stuff like
familiar
that.
with it at a much earlier age.
But how different is just their sort of general consumption and culture around it from ours?
Yeah.
Kind of cool. So yeah, it'd be a fascinating way to approach traveling.
Well, for sure, and a lot of people do that.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, in America, it's like, well, we're going to wine country.
Exactly. Exactly.
I do think I have the couple I tattoo who are very much into wine.
Yeah.
And the joke about Ohio wines, where I was like, what's a good Ohio wine? And we were just watching a thing on the local news about Ohio wines being featured at the Ohio State Fair and stuff. And I just remember them being like,
There's not.
Yeah. And
which is the best? None of them.
But a lot of the Ohio wines I've had are just super sweet.
And that's what they were just saying on the news too. And I guess that's just the type of grapes that we can grow here.
For sure.
And we went to that distillery in Kentucky that also had some grapevines.
Yeah.
And they were making wine with it?
They were. The interesting thing, they were
doing?
essentially American grapes poisoned European grapes, and they had to graft different grapes onto the stalks of the ones.
Were these Italian grapes that they were growing or something?
It was a specific type of root base that then they grafted different vine onto.
Yeah.
And that's how they got around the whatever disease that then had spread around the world. So really I don't think there's almost no wine we're drinking today that is
an
original wine because we've infected and killed off. Well, we always do. We try to introduce things. We take things to different countries where they don't have an immunity or have never seen it before.
Yeah.
And immediately then start some sort of new infection or something, and that spreads like wildfire. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did that with wine.
Yeah. That was fascinating. I had never heard of that, and it got very scientific very quickly.
It did for a second. That was really fun.
I was just like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get into wine.
We just played. So the last podcast we did was sort of tour recap.
Yeah.
But we just played an amazing show.
A really fun show.
I mean, I hated every second of it, but it was a really good show.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I got off stage and I was like, best show ever.
The only reason I did not enjoy it was because the gear is fucked up.
Your gear is fucked up.
My gear is fucked up. And I was essentially playing blind, which is a weird feeling. I had no stage
Well, that's
volume.
the interesting thing about bass amps for anybody who doesn't understand. It's like you run it through a cab, so on stage, you get that sound.
Yep.
But the way a sound person typically runs bass is directly from the head of your
There's
amp.
a direct input, a DI.
That then runs into the house speakers. So whereas with my guitar amp, the sound is coming through the cab, but the mic the cab. So it's actually taking that sound that comes through the speaker and then miking it into the house speakers.
And it totally depends. Like,
you can mic a bass cab,
you
obviously.
absolutely can. And a lot of times, you know, if you're in a recording setting, you'll get both sounds. And if you have a specific bass amp and it's creating the sound that you want, you know?
Yeah.
But the idea is you want a really clean and direct signal. You know, it passes through my pedals, so they get the fuzz from my pedals or reverb or whatever effects in the main PA mix.
But not the sound through
not
your
the amp
cabinet
sound.
speaker. Yeah.
And normally I do not have any downstage sound because it's coming through the cab. And because of that, at this event, I had essentially no sound on stage.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah. You did a great job, though.
Well, you know, luckily we had weeks of tour.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were so well rehearsed. I don't think you thought about what your fingers were doing.
We were essentially playing the same set from tour because no one had seen it in months. So I was like, okay, well, at least I know what I'm playing.
Yeah, there were definitely moments I caught myself playing and moving and singing, doing the entire show, but not paying any attention to what I was like. The moments where I was like, you need to come back in, like come back to yourself because you're on stage right now.
Yeah.
There are people in front of you. I was doing it all. It looked like I was like fully in it, but I was like, I was thinking about other shit.
Yeah. Well, when
Which
you do
is
it,
like
so many.
good feeling.
Yeah.
My mom used to joke that when my sisters and I would play, I mean, Celia was the bass player. Bass players, unlike you, you're a guitar player that plays bass. Real bass players, they're stoic,
typically,
they're moody, they don't move much, or if they do, it's
they
like real
walk.
slinky.
They have a walk.
And Celia was always like that. But my mom would always joke that Celia always looked like she would rather be at home playing with her rats. Which, you know, at the time, we were in high school.
Right.
So yes, she had rats pet rats in her bedroom. And it was funny because she would just, but all that to say, she was doing the stuff. She was doing the bass moves. But you could tell she was like, okay, when I get home, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do that. And I'm going to and just like, so trying to stay present, stay in the moment.
I liked, there was a little review about this most recent show. And what do they say? It's like they started off like full throttle and never let up or something, how they worded it.
Yeah, I think it was like, you know, they basically started off real intense and it just kept getting more intense. Something about like taking the show into the stratosphere or something like that. So, it was like the quickest little review, but it was perfect.
It was probably my favorite review.
It was like
ever. Yeah.
I think that might be how it feels to see a King Surfing show. It was so cool. It was this festival that happened. There's a very cool little neighborhood just north of downtown, really north of campus.
They call it the Old North.
The Old North, and it has all these, you know, it has some full-time sort of music venues, and then it has some other places that can have live music. But ultimately, there were like 7 or 8 venues that hosted bands and you know, acoustic players and violinists and rappers.
Yeah, I don't know the final count of artists, but essentially $30 got you into 8 venues.
I think they were saying over 30 bands or over 30 performances. And it was so cool. So yeah, you buy one ticket and then you have access to all these venues. And people fucking showed up.
It was great.
It was so cool. I think it was really fun having played the show in Pittsburgh that was a community festival. And we were just so excited about all the different kinds of people who were showing up and just the amount of people showing up. It had a similar vibe, completely different kind of festival, but just all different types of people were showing up to see these performances, to see these bands. And
super diverse performances too.
Exactly.
From rappers to acoustic artists to as intense metal as possible.
Yeah. And you know, we had the opportunity because we got down there kind of early, so we were able to pop into all these different places. We tried to hit them all, and just everywhere you went was a crowd, and people were into it, and people were talking, and people were on the sidewalk, and it was a beautiful night, which totally helped. And then we were kind of one of the later bands. We played at 10, and it was cool because while we were setting up and while you were freaking out that your bass wasn't working, people were fucking flooding into Space Bar.
People knew we were playing.
People were in our t-shirts.
A lot of our t-shirts around. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it felt really, really good.
It did.
It felt awesome and just great feedback. And I think just people were moving in the crowd.
Yep, there was some dancing, people yelling, very interactive.
Yeah. I remember this guy when I was, you were off freaking out about your amp, and I was just kind of like tuning my guitar, getting ready to play, and I saw this guy walk in, I think with a friend or with a couple of friends, but he decided to come straight up to the stage. There's always those people that come up and, you know, they check out your gear.
I mean, I checked out the gear.
And I'm always like, hi,
Yeah.
how are you? And he was just like, I can tell y'all are going to be badass. And I was like, I don't know.
We'll see.
Watch out. And he stood front row the entire time.
Good.
So it's cool. But yeah, that was a win.
That was a win,
That
for
felt
sure.
Awesome.
I think, you know, tour review, the update, I'm like, I still feel very into it. I'm excited. I want to do more.
I've still, you know, today I was with my trainer and we had not seen each other in
recap.
a month. It was fun to recap some of it.
I mean, every one of my clients is like, how the fuck was tour? Oh man,
yeah. So, yeah, no. I've done some finger combinations on my guitar, but we haven't like played in a few days.
Well, now we need to troubleshoot, fix gear. You know, next plan is to write new music.
We have one more show.
We have one more show. I mean, we have
shows.
We have a show a month or something.
Yeah, basically at this point. But yeah, I think it's time to write.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. How's your day?
It was great. I mean, you know, I've really enjoyed being back at work as well. I like what I do. Today was fun. It was a mashup of 2 different Egyptian gods on a guy's hand.
What gods?
Isis and Saphametek or something.
Okay.
But one's a pretty lady and one's a lion. So
okay.
It's a girl face and a lion face.
Okay.
Yeah. With some witchy. I'll show you. But
now, do you think they were chosen based on looks alone, or
no?
There
So
some
this is a long-time client. I haven't seen him in a while, but a project we started years ago is sort of all Egyptian themed on his arm.
Okay.
So he already has a collection of other like Egyptian iconography, some like, you know, different gods and some like celestial different shit. So this totally made sense for the theme.
Okay. Yeah. Did he initially tell you why he wanted this sleeve? Was that based on looks alone?
No, I'm trying to recall now, but I mentioned to you earlier that he's way into conspiracy theory shit.
Yeah.
So I think it has to do something with that, probably.
Yeah.
Aliens and sacred knowledge, and is ancient Egypt, 10,000 years older than we actually think it is, or whatever.
Right.
And he just likes all that shit, and the iconography is cool.
I was gonna say, and then it's cool looking.
Have you seen hieroglyphics? They're cool as fuck.
Yeah. Okay, that'll.
And we're also I mean, I love anything with a sense of wonder, and the fact that we're still debating how they made the pyramids is so mind-blowing.
Well, it's like you think we have all the technology to figure it out, and we can't.
I always joke all the time. I'm like,
which probably means that it wasn't made with technology.
It was like Romans, 2,000 years ago. They had
plumbing.
They had systems of plumbing, and you could they were like group bathrooms, but there was water running, and you would take a shit and it would run away.
It would flush.
And they had these aqueducts and systems for it. Rome falls. It takes 1,500 years before we have plumbing again.
Yeah.
Up until the Enlightenment, we were just, dumping. You would take your shit pot and dump it on the street if you lived in a city.
Oh my God.
In New York and stuff, you were just like dumping your own excrement onto the street. And it's like, clearly, technology advancement is not linear.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like, how the fuck were the pyramids
Probably
made?
way more cyclical than
anything. For sure.
Yeah.
And maybe, it'll turn out it's fucking magnets or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Something that's some mineral or something that
we don't even understand yet.
What's the word I'm looking for? Not gone extinct, but we've extracted all of it.
Oh, okay.
It's not being produced anymore
Yep.
or something. It's a, what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? A finite resource.
Correct.
Or something. That's what I'm looking for. And we finited it.
We finited it, yeah. Yeah, there could have been like a total thing that's on the periodic table that doesn't exist or we have to rediscover.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which also, we add stuff all the time to the periodic table, which is so fascinating.
I feel like, what did they most recently add? I feel like we were listening to something and somebody mentioned that and the idea of adding an element. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Which, I'm glad, cool. Science should always be moving forward.
Totally.
We should always be adding and subtracting and changing.
Just thinking about ancient civilizations, science keeps moving backwards. Even in our lifetime, they've pushed back the start of human existence, like
Yeah.
20,000
Oh,
years.
yeah. I see what you're saying.
It's like,
yeah.
oh yeah, humans have been around 10,000 years. No, 20,000 years.
Right.
No, 30,000 years. And it just keeps getting like further and further back.
Yeah.
So anyway, we know nothing.
Exactly. The more we know, the less we
As
know.
we know. I always say, my knowledge is an island, and the more I learn, the more vast the ocean becomes around it. The idea is like,
Yes, Mr. Poetry.
but the idea is like, the more I learn, the less I really know.
Exactly.
Like you keep like opening up more options and opportunities, and
Yeah.
yeah. The key is to not be
Land's
overwhelmed.
getting further and further
away every time.
Totally.
What I thought I knew, I don't know anything anymore.
But so the best thing to do is to know how to learn.
And I think, all of my favorite people are intensely curious.
Yeah.
Anytime someone says they have something figured out, I immediately am like, no, you don't. I'm not interested in what you have to say.
It's the most arrogant thing you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over and over again. I mean, how often are we surprised by people?
Every day.
Every day.
Every single day. You did what?
You think you know. You think you know.
Myself included.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. But, yeah.
How was your day?
Way better than yesterday, I'll tell you that.
So I think you've sort of like realized, like you're not good at sitting in the basement all day.
Yesterday was like, it was fun. It's actually the act of sitting was fine. And I kept myself busy. I had things to do, but it was a quiet day. Nobody came down. It was just a quiet day in the building. I can always tell because I hear the elevator running,
right.
and I think it ran like twice. I just think Tuesdays, I don't know.
Do you think that it's so much more difficult at this moment right now because you just got back from tour and you just did so much and every day was so action-packed?
Possibly. But yeah, probably. But I think I really feel like it's like a balancing of my chemicals in my brain. Is that like I operate so much better when I'm physically and mentally just moving, doing stuff. Yesterday was, like I said, it was fine. It was quiet. I got some work. I got a lot of work done, just the work that I normally need to do, but there was zero stimulant, really physical or mental. And that like fucked with me so hard to the point where I just I got home and I would mentally just broke down. It was just not good. And then today I spent the whole day buzzing around, exhausting myself, just doing stuff left and right. I came home on like a high.
Right.
And so it's for a lot of people doing the physical stuff, I'm not saying that it doesn't exhaust me to do that stuff, but it is worse for me to not do anything.
Right.
And I've kind of known this from the start.
Of course.
And there's days, and I'm sure tomorrow I'll go to work and I'll be completely fine when I come home. But yesterday was not good.
Yeah.
And I don't like feeling like that. So I don't have an answer quite yet, but I'm doing a lot better today.
Yes.
That's my whole point.
Yes. No, I think this sort of brings me back to my realization that I've been having so often now, where it's like we always project ourselves on other people, and you clearly need constant stimulus, and you need to be working on a thing, and you need to almost feel overwhelmed at all times with way too much shit to do, or else you spiral out of control in a negative way. But most people, or a huge swath of people, are so completely fine sitting there not doing absolutely anything. If you were to tell people all you have to do is sit here and you'll get paid, there would be infinite people who would sign up and be like, oh my God, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
And
I think it only comes from the fact that, we actually talked about this, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or something, when I look back just at how I've operated for a very long time. I mean, I would say since I started playing music, I was 14.
Yeah.
I started playing live 6 months after that or something. There's always been something that I have to do. I have to work on. I have to finish. I have to go do. I have to something. So there's never really been these moments where it's like, okay, now it's just time to chill. Now it's just time to sit. Like I've almost just like hardwired my brain.
Yeah, you're sprinting at all times.
To be sprinting at all times, which is fine. That's how I operate. And really, actually, I do better when I'm like that. So then to have completely sort of 180'd myself for the past year on these days when I'm down at the store, it's so hard. And it's like, it's just, I know it sounds so stupid, and I don't really know how to describe it, except that it makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
Like feel not good.
Yeah, I think that's the simple explanation is completely fine.
Yeah. And like I said, it's totally fine being down there. Nothing bad is happening down there. But that's why I think it's this like chemical imbalance or something where it's like I can't regulate myself because I haven't had my normal state of being.
Right.
And I can't figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you'll have to.
Yeah, hopefully not. But yeah, so today was good.
Yeah.
I got to be back
Ponytown.
in Ponytown. I had a really good meeting with the bakery this morning.
Which you have, just to loop back to ponies, how long has it been since your last lesson?
Like a month.
Like a month, because we had tour, and then your trainer was at shows and on vacation.
Yeah, so my last lesson was like July 1st or something.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Lesson. I've ridden.
Right.
You know, but yeah, my trainer went out of town, then we went out of town, I got back, she went out of town. It felt really good to have someone tell me what to do.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's the fun part, yeah.
It's my favorite part. If I could lesson every single day, I would. You know, riding is lovely, but I love working on it. I love, you know, being told like, you know, position your body this way. Let's work on that. I like feeling like I'm working towards something, but I mean, a nice little hack is fun. And especially like if you go out to the field.
Well, what's good is, you know, you work with your trainer, and then when you hack, when you go out there without her, you work on those exercises.
I work on those, exactly.
You know, so you have things, you're still working on it.
But still, the majority of the time, I'd rather continue the exercises with her guidance or with her watching. Because it's like, I can get confident in working on things, but I always want that little reassurance, especially with a horse that isn't mine, where I'm like essentially helping with the training.
Right.
I want to make sure that, we're not backpedaling because, oh shit, my leg slipped. Well, it's funny, actually, today, I've been riding in some different spurs just to try them out. They're Sally's spurs, and they have little like rolly balls.
Right.
So they don't really, because I don't know, the way I ride or my boots or something, like I accidentally give Pango
little burns.
Spur rubs, which if, you know, over time can get really bad and can actually become like a little open wound.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe I'll try these. Instead, I was using my normal spurs and then putting what we call a belly band on, which is basically like...
And for people who don't know, these spurs are not spiky.
Oh, God, no. No, if anything,
like
they're just...
Western-y
they're just
looking.
to kind of like give them a little like, come on, buddy,
so
you
these
gotta
are
listen.
like little nubs.
Little nubs.
Yeah.
And Pango especially, like he needs it because he bulges his left shoulder.
Right.
He's just a little off center. He just needs to get his body back in shape. And to do so, I really need to use my left leg to basically hold his shoulder in place so that when we go around turns, he's not just, you know, I don't even know what word I'm trying to say. Careening?
Yeah, that's a word.
Is that right? Would that be the right word?
To careen.
Yeah. Anyway, we keep his body balanced. And so I was riding in these spurs, and I have been in my hacks, which I'm not doing much in my hacks. It's more just exercise, mainly just because I hadn't had a lesson in a while. And the spurs were pretty much fine. And then today, Courtney had me doing a lot of things where my legs were actually working differently than when I just hack. And the little balls actually were making my leg like slide back.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Like it was really hard.
Yeah.
And we were jumping, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And so I got done, we got through the lesson, and everything was fine. But I was like, Courtney, do you have any recommendation on like best practices with these spurs? I was like, you know, doing this stuff today, I'm finding that I'm not using them well. And she was like, yeah, don't use them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? She was like, no. They're fine. But she was like, for what we need to do with Pango, we need a normal spur, and we'll use the belly band so that we're not rubbing directly onto his body. But she was just so funny. Because I was like, do you have any recommendations? She was like, don't use them.
Don't.
I was like, okay,
It's only in the
fine.
sense that they would slide because the ball would roll.
It rolls, yeah. I felt like I had no control over my legs today. It was
I think
wild.
when you first talked about, I have to get spurs, this is years ago, getting spurs. Well, initially my mind goes to Western boots, big stars that are super spiky, you know, like with the spurs. And then I was like, oh wait, these are like, they look almost like golf tees, but blunted. Like they're so tiny and like.
And there are big ones. Like I have,
of course.
Right? I have 3 or 4 different
sizes.
And I have some chonkers, but they're blunt on the end. I guess that's the thing, is they're blunt on the end.
They're not actually pointy or spiky.
No. But they do make spiky ones. And I remember when I was riding Richie, Haley had a pair that they're teeny tiny, but they had the little
spike.
And they roll. So it's like when you hit them, they spin. But it's a little zap. And she always called them Richie's Sunday spurs. For when it's mainly for a show, when you've been riding all week, it's the last day of the show, and you just need that little tink right when you go in. And really all you do is you get in the ring and you give him one little jab and he says, oh fuck, it's time to go.
They also like,
I never wore them, but
horses,
they're huge. They don't feel shit.
They don't feel shit. It's so funny. Like they hurt themselves constantly.
Oh my God, I got pin out today. And I was like, what are these marks?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Huge
did you
cuts,
run through barbed wire?
Yeah.
Like, how did you do this? You were in a secure paddock. Like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, so why did we talk about that?
I mean, I think we were just talking about you getting back to lesson life.
Yeah,
in general,
life was
which
good.
I'm glad. We have a few weeks of sort of normal-ish. We do have the one show, but
yeah, we have the one show. You know,
we're
Barnes going to a couple of shows that I'm not going to, so TBD.
Starting
who or when I will be
starting
riding.
this weekend / next week will be sort of another pivot for us as far as we cannot resist upgrading and growing and changing constantly at all times.
Yep.
Every time I'm like, all right, we're just gonna like smooth sailing for a couple of months. We're like, nah, let's shake it up.
Well, I think it's a matter of listening to what our world around us needs.
Yeah.
And acting on that. So like some artists have asked for some things, and we could be complacent and just keep things operating as normal, or we could pivot and make some changes that are hopefully for the better.
Trying to find the right seat
on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so still reading Good to Great.
Yeah.
Well, it was really fun today. My mom called me and she was just like talking about some things at her job, and I'm like over halfway through Good to Great right now, so I'm in the thick of it.
Yeah.
And everything she was saying, I was like, Mom, you got to read Good to Great.
They need their hedgehog philosophy.
Exactly.
You know?
You need to make sure people are in the right seat on the bus.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to get rid of them. You need to like, you need your foundations, you need your circles, you need, all this stuff. And she was cracking up, and you were actually laughing at me.
I was laughing very hard. Yeah.
I was telling her these things,
cute.
and you're like, oh yeah, you're quoting the book right now.
Yep.
But I'm really enjoying it, and it's a really nice thing to read at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
It's a good setup for the day. It helps me kind of align my thoughts for how I want to approach the day. And to be honest, that's how I felt yesterday morning, and then everything just
fell apart.
Which it didn't even fall apart until the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's all fine. But yeah, I mean, getting back into that routine, being back home, morning reading, I just love it. My mom was saying, she sent an email a few weeks ago to my sisters and me with an article she wanted us to read. But in it, she mentioned that my great uncle, so her uncle, once told her that, I think it was this idea of you should always be learning, you should always be, but his whole thing was you should always be reading. And really, you should actually always be reading 2 different books or 2 different things, a nonfiction and a fiction, or something in those realms. And you should always start your day with the nonfiction and end your day with the fiction. I was like, I actually really like that.
Yeah.
My only problem is I get very little reading done at night because I'm one of those people, it immediately puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
But I would argue that watching a well-written show can kind of take the place of that reading sometimes.
Totally.
A show that really that does make you think.
Yeah.
That is not just
There's a ton of amazing dramas.
Yeah.
You know, they're fictional
where
stories,
you are
but they're
getting
beautiful.
something out of it
Yeah.
rather than just sitting there looking at your phone as well or
Right,
something.
right.
So maybe there's, some nights, I don't know. I'm sticking to my one book right now, but that's kind of been in the back of my mind. And like Laura at the barn, she and I have our little book club together, and she has a book she wants me to read. And every time I've seen her, she's like, "Are you ready for it yet?" And I should just tell her to bring it, and then maybe I can kind of start it as well. Because if I were to read that and Good to Great, they're so different. There's no getting confused which book I'm reading type of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe.
What is your opinion on not finishing a book?
I always finish a book.
Yeah.
I always finish a book, and I actually had this dilemma. I'm less like that with shows. I'm like, if a show's not if I'm not into it, nah, that's a waste of time. Books, for whatever reason, feel a little different because I see it more as a challenge.
Right. I feel the exact same.
And it's funny because years ago, I was given a book by a man who is also a member at the athletic club. And this was early on. This was like, shortly after the pandemic. So people are just like trying to connect
This
with
is
people
one written by
left
his
and right.
son.
And this man's son wrote a book. And the writing was awful. The plot it was all so juvenile.
Right.
The whole time I was reading it, it felt like something I would have written in like 8th grade.
Right, a teenager.
Not that there was no, incorrect grammar, punctuation, or spelling or anything. Like it was edited. It was actually published, but it was just like so predictable. So I'm kind of forgetting the plot right now because this was so many years ago, but.
It was based in the area though, right? Wasn't the plot like in Columbus-ish or something too?
Something,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. But all that to say, I finished it, and it wasn't a horribly long book or anything. I thought about that damn book for like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
Like it just kept popping into my head, and with a slight fondness for it. It wasn't even like, oh God, that fucking book. Why am I still thinking of it? It would just pop into my head and almost give me like a good feeling. So that changed my mind. Not that I really had an opinion on finishing a book or not, but that made me say, finish the fucking book.
Yeah.
And I've read a few books recently that people have given me that, I've mentioned this before, I'm a book snob.
Right.
I really have a particular style of writing, especially, that I am drawn to, and anything else I find inferior.
Yeah.
But I've had to read some books just because, people, like I said, people have given them to me, or I've found myself in situations where I needed to read it. And I always finish it, and I will say I get something out of every single book.
Of course.
And finishing it just rounds out the whole experience. I would feel very weird not finishing a book. Actually, you know what book I never finished reading?
What?
The Dirt.
Oh, that's so funny.
And
We
to
have
this-
it here, don't we?
To this day, it bothers me. Lex gave it to me, and he gave me his copy.
Yeah.
And it was when I was still touring with my sisters, and I think he was like, "Have you read a rock and roll book?" And I was like,
This is
"No, I
the
haven't, because I
quintessential
read
story.
like Virginia Woolf."
Yeah.
And it got so intense, and I was just like, and I think I was even reading it on tour, and the things that were being described in the book, rock and roll and being on tour, was just so different from actually what I was experiencing, to the point where it was like kind of giving me the icky feeling. So I stopped reading it, and I never picked it back up. But I remember Lex saying like, "Oh, we'll just finish it and give it to me when you're done." And that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, maybe
And
it's time to
to
read
this
it.
day, I'm like, I still have to finish that book. At this point, I'll just reread it because I don't even know where I left off.
You got to reread it. And I think it's extra funny that you liked the film,
I loved the film,
The Dirt, so much.
but the writing in the film was so good.
Well, the book, the book is a fun read, but there's some serious notes, but it's like, the movie was a comedy.
Yeah.
They made the film into basically a comedy.
Yeah.
Like, the absurdity of
I
the
also
situation.
think I've experienced so much more just in life in those 10 years. I think I'll appreciate it even more. So I will. That is I can almost guarantee that is the only book I have never finished.
Well, now you have to.
I know. I'm glad we brought that up.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll read the book that Laura wants me to read, and then I'll read The Dirt.
When you start The Dirt, I'll listen to it.
Yeah,
Because
that'd be
it's
fun.
been like I mean,
what was that?
something just fall from this. Oh no, I think it was a leaf.
Oh, it was just a leaf.
A leaf off of
Okay.
a plant fell. Sorry, audience. A leaf off of a plant fell, and we were confused. I'll listen to The Dirt. I mean, I did read it, but 2005 or something. So now we're talking 20 years ago or something.
Yeah. So.
I read that in Slash by Slash, like pretty close together.
I mean, it's one of those things where every single time we hang out with Lex, it pops into my head.
That's so funny.
Like, I still have your book.
Yeah.
And I'm like so embarrassed about it. And I'm like, I feel like I beat it to hell even, and it's just like a terrible. I'm like,
well,
I need to like give it back to him and give him a new copy.
It should be beat to hell though.
Yeah.
Like that's the book should be.
If you have The Dirt on your bookshelf, that thing better look like dirt.
Well, it should just have like, you know how they say, like 80% of $20 bills have cocaine.
Cocaine? I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah.
Like The Dirt should be like 100% of every copy should
has cocaine remnants on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, hilarious. What you like to finish books?
I do. Sorry. Well, I remember. God, there was somebody who's it? Naval, the philosopher guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always searching for knowledge and meaning, of course. But I remember he was talking about one time. He's like, it's okay to not finish books. You know, he was talking about his reading habits, and he's like, I'm always reading like 5 at a time, and if I don't feel like I'm getting something out, or if I feel like I've already gotten the point, then I'll stop.
Okay, well, that's pretending that you know everything.
I know, of course, but I think there are some times that I
completely disagree with that.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But I think the idea, like, I remember I read all of The Intelligent Investor.
Yeah.
And that was like Warren Buffett's like #1
Yeah,
recommended book, and it is a painful read.
Yeah.
It is the most boring, painful thing to ever possibly slog your way through.
Yeah.
And the whole crux of the book is like in the first chapter.
Yeah.
And really they're just reiterating the same point the entire fucking time, which is compound interest, never pull your money out ever.
Or is it just a metaphor for investing?
Well, obviously.
The painful slog.
No.
The painful.
But I'm like, but I totally get it. Like, that's the type of book, like less of a fiction or a novel.
Yeah.
You know, one of these books that are a business book or a history book or a tactical book or a philosophy book, where it's like most philosophy books, like if you're reading Kant, if you're reading Descartes, if you're reading a philosopher, typically you can get the whole crux of their argument in the first few chapters, almost always.
But you don't know that until you're done with it.
I'm playing devil's advocate here, obviously.
Yeah, I think your takeaway that sure, yeah, you learned everything in the first chapter can only be found by reading the whole book.
Yeah.
So, that just reminded me when I read Look Homeward Angel, which is probably the hardest book I've ever read.
I remember you fighting with it. Yeah.
I really fought with that one. It's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
I would gladly reread that. And and that's because I was determined to get there. I mean, I really almost stopped like halfway through. And now I'm like, it's one of the most amazing books I've ever read.
I recently did Infinite Jest, and I will never reread it, and I think it fucking sucks.
Yeah, but now you know.
Yeah.
Because you finished it, and it proved to you that it sucked because you finished it.
Well, for sure. There were multiple times.
But you wouldn't have known. If you had stopped, it could have had the most amazing ending
I know.
ever.
I kept waiting for a cool ending, or just.
But that's fine. Now you know.
And
and now you can honestly say that book fucking sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
In your opinion.
Yeah.
In your opinion.
Yeah.
Why is it? Whoa.
Go on.
Why is it so highly regarded? Like, why is it such a huge book?
You sounded like that filter they use on
Why?
Instagram. Yeah. When the girl who talks about the fish, like, look at this fish.
Exactly.
I think it's highly regarded because it's one of those pretentious
weird.
things with people sniffing their own goddamn farts. It tries.
It's like fucking modern art.
It is, it's there's a lot of that. One of those things where it's like, it's supposed to be cerebral, and it's trying so hard to not really like have a political point or have a point at all.
So it has no points.
And so it has no points,
Yeah.
But you can like, a good abstract painting, it's frustrating because I do enjoy some modern art, Like I said.
Me too.
I
Me
love
too.
Rothko, for some reason, I really enjoy Rothko
That's
paintings.
okay.
But it's like, you look at it and you can get whatever you want out of it. You can interpret whatever. And I'm sure Infinite Jest, you can interpret whatever you want out of it.
Yeah.
There's every few lines, there's a brand new character, and they introduce a whole bunch of brand new shit, and it never resolves or goes anywhere, over and over and over.
That's just laziness.
Well,
That's
yeah.
so annoying.
And like I don't think a plot or, I don't think a book or a movie, it doesn't have to wrap up. I don't need a resolution at all.
Right.
But what I do want is sort of like, I don't even need consistency of theme. It just wasn't even
Developed.
Nothing in it developed ever.
Well, I mean, I think some of my favorite books, and I've said this before, like the plot doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's more so the development of just the characters and the scenes and just the descriptions. And because, yeah, I mean, I can think of, that book, Look Homeward, Angel.
Yeah.
It just kind of moves, I guess, in a forward direction, and then it just kind of ends.
Yeah.
There's no real story except the story of this family
I don't
living.
need things either to be linear. I don't need things
Yeah.
like, I don't need anything out of a book. I don't need anything, but I just need something.
Well, then it's like, I think, writing versus the artistry of writing.
Right.
And it's like that. The artistry of writing is what you want to get out of a book.
I enjoyed Prince of Tides very much. I enjoy Pat Conroy, his writing. Come to find out, some people fucking hate. Which is funny.
Like my grandmother can't stand his writing.
But it's like poetry.
Yeah.
And like all of it's like fantastical realism, and it's so over the top. And I think the plot's kind of fucking weak and generic or whatever. But I loved just the sentences.
Exactly.
Just like reading the sentence. He's talking about the white porpoise and just and it's just like so beautiful and like all that.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things where it's like if you were to just describe the plot, people would be like, okay.
And it's so
probably
absurd.
not going to read that.
No.
But then when you read the story,
house and the storms and the flood and you're just like, oh my god.
God forbid you already love the Low Country.
Oh yeah. So it's a lot, but like
porn.
like it really is.
Low Country porn.
It honestly is. But like the fights and the tigers and you're like, what the fuck? But it's so like, unlike Infinite Jest, there was not a single sentence in the entire book of Infinite Jest that I felt was beautiful. That I felt at all.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like, what do they call it when it's a detective story, like an attorney show where every week is a different plot.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a situational, but it's a phrase like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I know it.
Fuck, it's like a procedural.
Okay.
It might even be called that, but now that feels weird.
Okay.
But some of those shows are like, or books, if you're reading Sherlock Holmes or something.
Yeah.
Where it's just like,
here's the story.
But
start to finish.
It's going to be, here's a mystery, and here's who done it, and here's a twist, and it's
we're
a
going to resolve at the end.
It is called a procedural.
Okay.
Those are what those things are called. So if it's a lawyer thing or a detective.
Like a Law and Order or something.
Exactly, a procedural. Where every week it's a new plot.
Yeah.
Then it's a procedural. That's how it works through it. Those things have a structure you know and understand.
Yes.
I've already lost where the fuck I was going
with this. I don't know either.
But I think...
Something about Infinite Jest versus Pat Conroy. I think just in the writing style that...
I think even a procedural I can enjoy.
Yes.
But I cannot enjoy something that everything sucks the entire fucking time. Anyway,
sucks.
Don't read Infinite Jest. That's my point.
It actually gives you angry. Okay, noted. Do you have a favorite book?
Oh gee.
Or is there one that just
fiction or nonfiction?
Just what comes to mind first when you think of a favorite book? You could have just read it. It doesn't have to be like your all-time favorite book. Like you're like, that was a really good book. I really enjoyed that book.
It's right. There's books I reread, which I never thought I would.
Yeah.
Like I will never rewatch a TV show ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the time I do not reread any book, but there's only 2 books that I ever reread.
Yeah.
And it's Good to Great and Obstacles the Way.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 books I will ever reread.
And do you feel like it's because they just kind of reinvigorate you? re-inspire you? Or
100%.
yeah,
It's like
it's for you.
it's like, you know, when some people, you're doing a hard workout and the only way you can get through it is to hear like AC/DC,
Yeah.
you know, or something, and it feels exactly like that.
Reading
Like
these books is like you're like, I'm in a tough moment. Let me put on my AC/DC.
I need Back in Black right now to
Yeah.
fucking, or else I can't lift this weight. And that's what it feels like when I listen to those books.
Your Good to Great is your back to
Back to Black, yeah. And I can get through, you know, Good to Great is 10 hours on Audible or something.
When you think about, though, just like a book that you just enjoyed, it moved you, it made you enjoy reading, is there one that really comes to mind?
Probably, it's not a nonfiction, but was it A River of Doubt?
Oh, cool.
Which is really cool. And it was like so fascinating and beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all Teddy Roosevelt, after he loses his re-election campaign, goes to the Amazon.
Yeah.
This is a true story. But it's filled with just beauty and loss and then like discovery. I don't know.
So, is it basically a story based on his story? Like you said, it's not a nonfiction?
Well, it's nonfiction for sure.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was not nonfiction.
No, it's nonfiction.
Okay.
It's the real account.
Okay. That's it. Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah.
But there's definitely like a lot of it is sort of unknown. So they're working together sort of with the facts and accounts and letters and things written back. But it's also like there was no communication because they were
in the Amazon
being chased by like natives and shit.
Yeah.
It was like the most insane possible shit.
That's cool. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Now that I think about it, though, one of the most fun reads of recent history was the Caravaggio book, and that was one of the coolest shits. Talk about a not nonfiction, maybe fiction.
Oh
sort
yeah,
of a
who
nonfiction.
knows?
But it's
police
like,
reports.
It's basically an account of Caravaggio's life based on mainly police reports from the 1500s. In Italy and the surrounding area.
Which you're like, damn, they were doing police reports. In
Basically,
the 1500s.
people are the exact same, except you know, more stabbing. Maybe, I don't know.
More stabbing now or then?
Then I'm just joking because he got arrested for stabbing a guy. But.
Yeah. I wonder how. Yeah, obviously there's so many more people in the world. Is crime completely the same relatively? The amount of crime and types of crime?
I bet by population. It probably is.
With cyber crime and technology crime aside, like human on human crime.
Yeah, I would say like humans are humans. Our brain has not changed that much at all.
I don't think so either.
Like not even kept up. So, you know, they weren't using a lot of guns. Now we have guns, but also like I bet guns are not the leading cause of crime. You know, it's going to be domestic abuse and physical violence and fighting.
Which that's been going on forever.
Forever, and I would assume the ratio is very similar. Technically, there's probably way less crime now.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
It's dramatically harder to get away with crime.
And people just have more.
Because you have ways to act out crime in fictional reality too, whether it's video games or like movies or other entertainment.
And you yourself are just more secure.
Right, when people like
most people have a place to go to get away.
What are the drivers of a lot of crime? Well, it's going to be food insecurity or
just insecurity
in some capacity.
Yeah.
So I would assume that as wealth grows, as hunger goes down, as we have more amenities, more places for people to go, shelters, then crime has gone down, which it has statistically.
Gone down and just changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evolved into.
Now what you do
types.
have is the cybercrime.
Yeah.
You know, identity fraud. How much spam? How much fucking fake phone calls do you get? How
many
catfishing and
just cyberbullying, and which I guess it's sort of
not
the
really
same
crime,
behavior, but I'm sort of thinking crime and violence.
Yeah, but I would say all of the phishing campaigns, like all of the weird internet crimes, like those are different. But people be scamming. I mean, people were snake oil salesmen.
I know, we've talked about this before. Yes, scamming forever.
Forever.
Ever. Just a mess.
I do think, though, that, Steven Pinker, he's a philosopher, his book from like 2016, Enlightenment Now, still holds very, very true to today, where it's like, when you analyze the world, that now is the absolute best time to be alive.
Yeah.
That crime is lower than it's ever been. Life expectancy is growing across every demographic, including third world countries. So it's like, knowledge has lifted up everybody in a positive direction.
Yeah.
I think people don't feel like it has because you only know what you know.
Has it, I mean, I guess we talked about like the Romans having plumbing, and then it kind of, the fall of the Roman Empire and stuff. Would you say that was a moment of backtracking in?
Well, there wasn't another real democracy till America.
Right.
So you have like.
So I guess I'm just thinking in terms of like
1,700 years.
Human evolution. Like, has it always been a progression?
No.
There very much have been regressions.
Well, in evolution.
Just thinking about
because Neanderthals.
Quality of life.
Definitely regression for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even you think of the comforts of people have chosen regression.
Yeah.
People have chosen to sort of like colonize
humanity on a whole.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it has been this constant progression, no matter how slow? You think there's been regression, and then you've had to rebuild?
We have the Dark Ages. We have, we have specific times, and it may have not been human-led, natural disaster, plague, different moments, but then people, they have to burn down buildings, they burn all the books, maybe books didn't even exist.
You think we're in a regression?
Are we in a regression right now?
Or entering a regression?
There's some things that are for sure, like car accidents are on the rise.
Yeah.
Right? So like clearly we are getting worse at driving.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But why? What is the causation?
Yeah.
Well, it's mainly distracted driving.
Yeah.
Right? So there's aspects of life that people are getting worse at.
Right.
Because there's a progression in other areas.
So I guess kind of back to my point, which has still sort of outweighed the other? Like, is there still more of a progression?
And all we know since the Renaissance, there has been a obvious progression.
Yeah.
But there was a huge, downward spiral of society for 1,000 years prior to that.
Yeah.
And I would assume, to loop it back around to ancient Egypt, there would have been advanced science and technology, and then that was wiped out.
Yeah.
Then people had to rebuild.
Yeah.
And they were essentially the exact same humans. The brain did not change.
Yeah.
And then they had to rebuild, refine technology.
Yeah.
Then it fell back again, but less. So like
there
was like so let's assume like, ancient Egypt and the advancements were a huge spike.
We go up 10 steps. And then we go back
down, maybe down 7. Six or seven.
And then you go up 11, but you go down 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what we've seen in recent time. But anything, an actual plague, an actual common impact, a nuclear fallout, like you would lose so much of technology, there'd be nothing left. And then we'd have to restart, and who would be left to restart? What kind of knowledge is still there? And I've always been a fan of, I keep saying we need to get all the basic books on electrical engineering, plumbing, woodworking, just to have in case there is some sort of like, EMP and we lose access to the internet.
We probably need a plan too.
Everyone needs you need a bug out bag.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
You need a, what are our paths out?
Mm-hmm.
I think all the time about like what clothes would I wear? If I knew that I like was gonna be on the run, like I'm like, of the shit that I have right now.
Yeah.
Well, one, I should probably get shit that would actually help me out. But I think I like scanned my closet and I'm like, okay, I'd probably wear those shoes because they're less likely to give me blisters, but the soles are are probably gonna hold up. And like, okay, and would I want to wear jeans or would I want to?
Yeah.
I think about that actually a lot.
All right, we'll talk about our bug out plan next time. We'll make a plan and we'll be like, all right.
Okay. I think about the things that I'd grab.
You know, you can get, what is it? It's like 50 MREs.
Yeah.
You know, then the bucket or whatever for pretty cheap.
I'm sure they sell like doomsday.
Oh, there's tons
like,
of prepper shit.
Just all the like, here's the backpack, fill it with all the stuff.
Yeah.
And so all you have to do is grab the backpack when you're ready to go. And I don't think about that often. But I think about the clothing thing a lot.
Yeah. We definitely did get a little prepper closet and get that going during COVID. You know, we were all like, all right, if this is the moment.
When the goddamn National Guard's on your street.
You're like, I don't know, maybe
like,
everything's gonna shut down. Yeah, let's fucking do it. Yeah.
My building is definitely not going to be here when I get back. That's a story for another time.
I know, it was so intense and so wacky, but.
No. We're on the other side.
Whoa.
I think. I don't know.
We are.
We are.
So good to catch up.
It was good to catch up. It
Yeah.
was nice to catch up. I'm over my homesickness.
All right, good. We're home.
We're home. Actually, we have to leave.
We have to leave immediately right now, but
yeah.
it feels good to be back in routine.
I think so.
All right, we're back in the saddle.